Hello guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about today's video. I have basically been just hand picking and trying to curate the most beautiful drugstore makeup bag for you guys. So all these products will create a full face, and the whole thing that really inspired me about this was I think it's one of the best things in the world when you can get a drugstore product that is not only great quality, but also comes in really beautiful, luxurious, modern, just aesthetically pleasing packaging, because then you really get the best of both worlds. Drugstore price, but you also feel like you get the bougie, luxurious packaging. So not only are these products some of my personal favorites and products that I think are really great quality, it's drugstore makeup with a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are really beautiful products, the packaging is awesome, and I just feel like it'll give you a little bit more of a makeup bag that's on point, because I just love beautiful packaging. I love product, but if I can get it in like some really nice packaging that's almost display worthy, that genuinely excites me so much. So before we get into it, I would love it if you guys would subscribe to my channel just so you can stay updated whenever I upload my next video for you. And I would also love it so much if you guys would come follow me on Instagram too, because I'll always be on Instagram whenever I'm not here on my channel. So let's get into the video. I'm so excited. So let's get started off with some prep steps. So a beautiful drugstore primer and sunscreen that plays very well with makeup is from Revlon. This is the Revlon Color Stay Prep and Protect Primer Base. This one has an SPF of 34, and the thing that I like about this one is obviously the packaging. I like the packaging on all of these, but it just comes in this nice, classic black and white packaging, and the formulation is very fluid and lightweight, and it doesn't leave you with a white cast, and then it doesn't leave you feeling greasy or oily like a lot of other sunscreens do. So this one you apply and then it pretty much is quickly absorbed into the skin, and you feel like you don't have anything lingering on the skin at all. I also wanted to mention a great moisturizer that you can use to prep your skin before you go in with other products, and this one's from Pixi. It's the On The Glow Multi-Use Moisture Stick. Now I like this one. It comes in solid form, kind of looks like a little deodorant, but what I will do is just apply this directly to the skin and then moisturize it in with my fingers, and it does give you a little bit nicer of a kind of tackier, stickier feeling base, so it really grips to the makeup, but it doesn't leave you feeling greasy or oily, so you don't have to worry about that. And it also does give you a really nice dewy sheen, which I love. I also wanted to mention a very beautiful lip balm. So this is from the brand Aven, which is actually a French pharmaceutical brand, but you can purchase this online in the States, and they're reasonably priced, and I really like this brand because they have a line that's specifically targeted for very dry, sensitive skin types. So I'm a big fan of these products. This lip balm is really nice, ultra rich, ultra hydrating, and just provides your lips with a good amount of comfort and really preps your lips for any product that you're gonna put on top of it. But also, if you guys do get severely chapped lips, this is one of my favorites year round. I love it so much because it's just so rich and just makes your lips feel very nourished and healthy. Boujee Illuminators. So I am honestly really butthurt because Revlon discontinued this. My favorite liquid illuminator of all time. It beats anything high-end I've ever tried. It's the Photo Ready Skin Lights in Bare Light. This is the most gorgeous champagne liquid illuminator that you can mix in with your foundation or wear underneath foundation. I think illuminator really makes the biggest difference in complexion because it really gives you a natural, youthful radiance that just makes you look so healthy and young and plump. And so I think it really is a big deal in anybody's makeup routine. This one specifically, you can sometimes get lucky and find it in like CVS and Walgreens, but it is discontinued, so I have been purchasing mine off of Amazon. Now, I'm not scared to purchase discontinued products off of Amazon. I haven't had a bad experience with that, but if you are more weary of that, the closest dupe that I have found to this that also comes in beautiful bougie packaging is the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. Now, I like the one in the shade Light, and this is a really beautiful, intense liquid illuminator that again can be worn underneath or mixed in with foundation or even on top of it. So this is really beautiful, but it is a little bit more of an intense strobe, as is the Revlon Photo Ready Skin Light. So something that's a little bit more sheer and might be a little bit more universally appealing is from CoverGirl. It's their Vitalist Go Glow. look at this packaging. How could you turn this down? It's so beautiful. I think there's 3 different shades of this one, but I do like the shade Daybreak, which is, again, a little bit more of a true beigey champagne that just seems to play really well with my skin tone no matter where it's at. When it comes to like foundation and stuff, I don't want anything with an obnoxious font or obnoxious packaging. Just give it to me in something classique and minimal. So one of my go-tos for many, many years, it will always be one of my favorite foundations of all time, the L'Oreal True Match. This comes in so many different shades and it's targeted based on undertones, so you can get warm, cool, neutral undertones. I generally speaking, I'm gonna be anywhere between W4.5 and W6. Those are kind of the shades that I bounce around between, but this is a beautiful satin finish foundation, one of the greatest of all time. And then one of my new favorite ones, and I love this so much. It's the Light Illusion from Flower Beauty. I wear the shade M4. I love the packaging, comes with a nice pump. I also feel like the gold hardware on it just elevates the experience of the foundation itself. So not only is it a beautiful dewy radiant foundation that stays put, it comes in beautiful packaging to just elevate your experience using the product itself. My favorite Boujee Drugstore concealer right now is from Flower Beauty. It's the Light Illusion concealer. I wear the shade Light Medium in this concealer, and this is marketed as a full coverage concealer, but actually what I really like about this is it's very fluid and lightweight, and although it does build up to full coverage, I think you can actually wear it quite sheer with just one layer. So I think it is, you know, full coverage in the sense that it builds up to full coverage, but it doesn't have to be. So it never looks cakey, it never feels heavy, it's not drying. It sets down to a really beautiful satin finish, so it's not matte, so it doesn't look drying under the eyes, and it's not dewy, so it's not gonna slip and slide around. It just stays put and it looks very natural and flawless, but not in a heavy or too much makeup type of way. Boujee setting powder has to go to CoverGirl. CoverGirl has been revamping all their packaging. They're doing a much more, you know, modern, sleek, bougie classic feel to their products, and the Vitalist powder is very beautiful, very finely milled. I would actually say this is quite comparable in my opinion to the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder, you know, the one I'm talking about. This one is gonna give you a really nice, you know, stay put, soft matte finish, but it's not gonna feel chalky, it's not gonna feel drying, and because it's nice and finely milled, it's never gonna look, you know how like sometimes powders can almost look chunky on the skin? You'll never get that effect with this one. So it's a very, you know, luxurious, expensive feeling powder that I really, really have been enjoying for just setting the T-zone and under my eyes as well. Boujee blushes were a little bit tricky because I do find from the drugstore, blushes tend to be a little bit more flimsily packaged, and sometimes the packaging is just so obnoxious and it's just too much going on. The first one I want to mention is actually pretty new, but I've really been enjoying it. It's the Rimmel Maxi blush. These are beautiful and they're so finely milled, and the powder is almost like satin and creamy, and they really give you a gorgeous airbrushed finish on the skin, which I've really been enjoying. This one is in the shade Sweet Cheeks, which is a really beautiful soft apricot shade that I think would look gorgeous on a multitude of skin tones. And they also have one in a berry shade that I've been eyeing, and I think I'm gonna get that one next. And I also think you can never go wrong with the Milani Baked blushes. These are beautiful. They come in so many different, you know, very like luminous, healthy, shimmery looking shades that are just gonna make the apple of your cheek look very juicy, plump, and just kind of, you know, like healthy and youthful, kind of like a little kid's cheeks. That's the vibe I get from the Milani blushes. And with highlighter, again, I kind of felt like a lot of them are flimsier in packaging and just have obnoxious stuff on them that you don't need. So I look for something with like a good substantial package that's not gonna break or, you know, feel cheap in your hands. And I have really been a big fan of these for quite some time now. The L'Oreal Lumi Glow Nude palettes. This one is in Sunkissed, but I also like the one in Moonkissed as well, which is a little bit more pinky and cool tone. But the great thing about the Lumi Glow palettes is you get 4 different shades. So you can create your own custom highlight shades by mixing them together, or you can get a little bit more creative and you can use some of them as blush toppers or bronzer toppers just to give those shades a little bit more luminosity without having to put a champagne on top, which if you put something like this on top of a bronzer, it can kind of make it look a little bit too cool toned, maybe a little bit more tin-ish, where you can use the bronze to top your bronzer and it's just gonna give the bronzer a really nice luminous glow. So I like the customizability of these palettes and how they're a little bit more versatile. And if you're not looking for something that's in palette form because you just don't feel like you need that, I really like these ones from Revlon. These are the Revlon Instafix highlighting sticks. This one is in the shade Gold Light. Insanely pigmented and so beautiful. Now the thing that I really like about these Revlon highlights is that they are cream, but they apply a little bit more like a powder, so they don't stay tacky or wet on the skin. They set down. They're quite dry in formulation to where you can actually just take a brush and pick it up and then apply it to the skin and you'll have a little bit more control, or you can apply it straight out of the bullet and get full intensity. So another really great, versatile highlighting product. I think that this is the chicest packaged bronzer at the drugstore. It genuinely makes me excited because it reminds me of a Guerlain bronzer, Clarins, Estee Lauder. It really gives me that vibe, and the product inside is just as beautiful as something high-end. It's the Bronze Booster from Physicians Formula. It's just so beautiful. And the bronzer is it's got like the slightest bit of shimmer to it. So again, it's a bronzer that always manages to make you look very healthy, very sun-kissed without making you look muddy or chalky. Beautifully finely milled. One of my all-time favorite bronzers ever, and I just think that the packaging makes it so pleasing and just feels very luxurious and looks luxurious in your makeup bag. We're gonna talk brow pencils. These are the Revlon Color Stay Brow Creator Pencils. Again, the packaging just reminds me of something that you would get from Estee Lauder or Chanel, but actually my Estee Lauder brow pencil that this really reminds me of, it does not come with a spoolie on the end, but the Revlon one does, which is amazing. I generally kind of actually mix these two shades together because I think it just gives me a little bit more of a custom brow shade, because I don't like using something super dark or super light, so I'll use the light one on the inner part of my brows and then the dark one throughout the, you know, like tail end of my brows, and I just like that effect a little bit better. The brow pencil itself is that nice, really tiny, fine pencil that you can create gorgeous hair-like strokes with, and it's always gonna look really nice and natural, and it's not gonna look, you know, cartoony. You'll get a nice feather brow effect with these. Another thing I'm really picky about is brow gel, and I felt like I was doing you guys a disservice by choosing ones that were in bougie packaging, but I wasn't absolutely in love with. This one I wish was a little bit more bougie looking, but it's such a good brow gel. And it's not horrible. It's not the bougiest one that I could find, but it's the best brow gel. It's the Essence Make Me Brow. This is really similar to Benefit Give Me Brow and also the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel, because you get this really nice tiny brush, and then there's little fibers in the actual brow gel. It has a good amount of tint to it, and it just keeps your brows in place all day. I don't think the packaging is obnoxious, but I wish it could be a little bit more luxurious looking, but it's the best brow gel that I like the most. Eyeliner wise, I'm not crazy about liquid eyeliner right now. We'll see how I feel come 6 months when it's winter time. Maybe I'll break out the liquid eyeliner again, but right now I'm just really loving pencils because I like a little bit more of a hazy, smudgy eye, and Revlon came out with these So Fierce vinyl eyeliner pencils that you can use in the waterline and tightline, and they will stay put all day, or you can put them, you know, up on the lash line and they smudge out beautifully, and then they also just stay put. So I really like these because you get a lot of color intensity, but they also don't move around once they've set. I'd say you have about 20 to 30 seconds of playtime before these become absolutely industrial and budge proof. You guys know I am having a heavy cream eyeshadow moment, and some of my favorites are Tom Ford and Chanel cream eyeshadows. They are astronomically priced, but beautiful nonetheless. That's why I do love my, you know, designer cream shadows, but the price points are not practical, and I completely admit that. So some that are beautiful and the same as like a designer cream eyeshadow, I'm trying to get them all on camera for you guys. The Revlon Color Stay cream eyeshadows. These are the same exact quality as something that you are gonna get that is, okay, I need to set those down or I'm gonna break them. The Revlon cream eyeshadows are the exact same quality that you are gonna get from Chanel, Tom Ford, Charlotte Tilbury, those very beautiful cream shadows. The thing about these is maybe the shade's not gonna be the same, but if you can find at least one or two that you are in love with, they are budge proof, they set down, and you can do, you know, just a light wash of color or full opacity. You can use them to prime for powder eyeshadows. They are absolutely beautiful. They are, I cannot emphasize this enough, the exact same quality as something that you are going to pay 4 times the price for something that's designer, and they look very beautiful and they are just as good of quality. So I cannot stress that enough. If you guys want a great cream shadow, the Revlon Color Stays are the move. And if you guys don't know where to start in terms of shades with these, my 3 favorites are 710, 715, and 705. And another really fun like party shade is 740. It's kind of this metallic amethyst that looks really beautiful with brown eyes. Mascara wise, I really think CoverGirl hit it out of the park with the Exhibitionist mascara. The packaging's gorgeous, but this honestly gives you the effect of some of those higher end mascaras that have really big massive brushes like Dior Show, and that brush is so big it can sometimes be a little bit hard to work with. This one has a much more manageable sized brush. It's that you know, hourglass bristle brush that just gives you tons of volume, wispiness, really gives you a false lash effect with a brush that's much more easily controlled than something that's, you know, bigger and kind of harder to work with. Lipsticks I really wanted to highlight for you guys are the L'Oreal Color Riche Shine Lipsticks. First of all, the packaging is gorgeous. It looks like something from like Rodin or Lancome, and I think the lipstick itself is very comparable to the YSL Shine glosses that are a little bit more of a tint. So I picked my 3 favorite shades for you guys, so hopefully at least one of these will interest you. I like the shade 916, 914, and then 900, which is a little bit more of like my favorite everyday color. I'll put a little bit more of 900 on because that's actually the color I was wearing when I started filming, but I feel like I've talked it off. But look how much shine it has. It's so beautiful, so lightweight. They just give you a really gorgeous sheer tint, and they just feel so luxurious and bougie, and they're beautiful. I just love these so much. Last thing I want to share with you guys is a beautiful setting spray. This is the L'Oreal Shake and Dew Glow Mist. I've only had this for a couple weeks and it's already down to here, which is a lot because I've been using this nonstop. It's such a beautiful dewy setting spray that gives you a truly dewy finish to the skin without having any shimmer or pearlescence, which I can't emphasize enough because a lot of times those setting sprays that give you a dewy look will have a lot of, you know, pearl to them, and that can kind of emphasize texture or put shimmer on places that you don't want there to be shimmery. So this just gives you that nice plump dewy look without adding any more shimmer. And I also don't feel like it makes your makeup fall off faster, which is another thing with setting sprays. So this takes away powder, cakey looking finishes, and just brings back a skin-like finish, which I think is what we all want. All of us want to look like it's our skin and not like a bunch of makeup. So this setting spray, you've seen it in a ton of videos. I love it so much. Can't recommend it enough. It comes in also very cute, pretty pink packaging. So that is my luxurious Boujee Drugstore makeup kit that I curated for you guys. And the whole point of this video was to show you that you don't have to spend $80 on a cream eyeshadow just to get a luxurious experience. All of these products, they're really amazing quality and formulations, but the brand also took the time to package it in a way that just makes it feel a little bit more luxe. And I think that actually does elevate the experience of using the products. You just like to feel something nice in your hands and to have it go on your skin and feel really, you know, luxurious and beautiful. I think it just gives you a little bit more of an elevated experience. I don't really know how else to say that, but yeah, Boujee Drugstore products are one of my favorite things ever. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a comment down below, let me know. I'm gonna list and link all the products in the description box down below for you guys. Subscribe if you didn't earlier. Please be sure to come follow me on Instagram as well if you didn't earlier. And thank you guys so much for watching this one. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.